tell you a wee story. It's an odd one. I recently changed my little Hyundai i800 camper van, which was my pride and joy, and it was the star of my BBC Scotland television series Roads Less Travelled. But we recently changed it for this Swift Autocruise Select 184, which is considerably bigger. The reason for changing the Hyundai was a strange one, and it was really my wife's fault. She had a dream one night, and she dreamt that we were overnighting in the Hyundai, and I had gone upstairs and slept in the pop-up roof, and she slept down below. And that's what we usually did in the camper. It gave us both a good bit of room. Anyway, in this dream, I was sleeping in the upper part, the pop-up roof, and passed away. And rigor mortis set in. And by the time she discovered me in the morning, and the police came and the undertakers came, they couldn't get me out. I was so stiff, they couldn't get me out of the pop-up roof. And she was terrified. It really genuinely upset her. And she kind of couldn't settle in the Hyundai after that. And that came about the same time that we're thinking, you know, we're both getting on in years a wee bit, and it might be nice to have a wee bit of extra space when we go away in a camper van. The Hyundai i800 size, which is, you know, about a Volkswagen standard size, it was fine for me climbing hills and mountains. It was a convenient size for driving on Highland roads. It was nice for parking. You could kind of park off grid quite easily in it. So I was kind of resistant to change. I felt I was kind of betraying my minimalist ethos to a certain extent. But anyway, this Swift Autocruise came on the market. It was a 2017 model, or it is a 2017 model. It had only done 9,000 miles, and it's just chock-a-block full of lots of extras. The Swift Autocruise Select 184 is based on an extra long wheelbase Fiat Ducato. It's got a 2.3 litre engine, 130 brake horsepower. I know it's got a wee bit sluggish going up hills. You know, it's not got a lot of zoom in it. But what it does have is a 6-speed automatic gearbox, and I really love that. It makes it so much nicer to drive, so comfortable to drive, slow, easy. And you know, at the end of the day, when I go off in my camper van, I'm not really in a rush to go anywhere. I like to kind of roll along at a fairly relaxed pace, so it kind of suits me quite nicely. But it is very nice to drive, nice sort of standard Fiat Ducato layout. It's got a, you know, radio, and I can play my music from my iPhone. It's got air conditioning and all these bits and pieces. So as far as vehicles go, the Fiat Ducato is you know, it's pretty standard base vehicle for conversions, and that would suggest it's been pretty successful over the years. So I like it. It's nice to drive, good high driving position, very comfortable. So yeah, it's fine. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll find somewhere to stop, and I'll have a wee, we can have a wee look at the outside and then the inside. I hope you'll forgive me the wind noise. It's about -2, but with this wind it feels more like -10. So here we are, a Fiat Ducato extra long wheelbase. It's 6.36 metres in length, and this is where you'll fill up with drinking water, or you can pump it electronically if you so desire. That's where the Thetford toilet cassette lives, and next to it, under its protective cap, is the 12 volt electric hookup. Further along is the vent for the Truma boiler. A full bike rack hangs from the rear door, and above it the red reversing light, and there's a little reversing camera that sits just immediately below the light there, and we had that fitted after we bought the van. This locker holds two 6k calorie gas tanks, and down here is the water drain tap, and there's one on the other side for wastewater. So, welcome aboard. As you can see, the two driving seats swivel round to create a spacious dining area for four, or if you prefer, front row at the movies. It's a pretty hefty table, which itself swivels out to extend its length, just in case you thought of maybe throwing a party. It's easily removable though, and it's stored away in its own little slot above the cab. You can then turn this cosy little dining area into a cosy little bed, using the cushions that are conveniently stowed away under the kitchen work surface. The rear barn doors open out to expose the rear lounge area. The little drinks table is removable, and the frame for the bed is easily pulled into place. Reshuffle the cushions to suit, and voila, a 186 by 120 centimetre double bed. The cushions originally were a pale off-white colour, so just the right shade to be stained by red vino collapso. So we asked a friend to cover them for us, and with no expense spared, she covered them in genuine Harris tweed. Beneath one of the bench seats is the Truma combi boiler and the yellow tap for draining the hot water boiler. On the other side is a useful cubby hole for keeping sleeping bags and pillows and whatnot. The galley area has loads of working space, a Dometic gas double hob, a stainless steel sink with glass slids and a Smev grill. And overhead lighting so you can see what you're cooking. Plenty of storage space above and below with a massive cutlery drawer. I keep my coffee grinder in here too. And directly opposite is the wacky, whatever you call it, compressor fridge. And if you're going to have a fridge, you may as well have a nice box too. Bourbon on the rocks, maybe. Now, what we really like about this conversion is the amount of storage space. 3 good-sized lockers above the galley and 4 more above the rear lounge. 2 for him and 2 for her. Who am I kidding? 1 for him and 3 for her. The washroom, the loo with an electric flusher and a nice wee vanity sink, mirror and shower curtain. The tap actually pulls off and becomes a shower head. I quite like the kind of dual purpose of that. And as well as a generous cupboard space, there are numerous wee cubby holes for first aid kits, my little Bose speaker, binoculars or whatever, even spare face masks. There's 2 television points, one at the front and one at the rear, and there's a TV aerial on the roof. Oh, and by the way, there's a 40-watt solar panel on the roof as well. Two lecky skylights with blinds and fly screens letting a lot of light, and all the windows have pleated blinds and fly screens. Whether they keep the midges out, only time will tell. In both lounge areas there are LED dimmable reading light and the touchscreen controls for the Truma heating and hot water system, and the electrics panel for everything else is conveniently situated just above the sliding door. So there you have it, our new Swift Autocruise Select 184. Now I think we'll probably really enjoy the extra space, and it's kind of, you know, it's nice just having that bit more room as you get that wee bit older. We like the space, we like all the lockers, that's great. We love the Truma Combi heating system. The shower room and toilet is, well, you know, it's nice to have a sit-down toilet after sharing a porta potty in our Hyundai for a number of years. It'd be nice to have a proper sit-down loo. As for the shower, I kind of suspect that room will just be used to dry wet waterproofs and whatnot. I've always thought that washing is overrated. So will I ever get used to the extra length in this Autocruise Select? The good thing about it is although it's, you know, it's about a metre longer than our old Hyundai, it's not that much wider, so it shouldn't be too bad. But anyway, who knows? Only time can tell. And once this lockdown is over, we're desperate to get out there and try it out on the road.